So let us see with respect to method overriding today. Okay, in the previous session we have seen what is method overloading, which is also called as compile time polymorphism. Today in this session, let us try to understand what is method overriding, and method overriding is also called as runtime polymorphism. Okay, so before trying to understand with respect to method overriding, let us try to understand the ways in which we can try to create an object of a particular class. Okay, so for example, let me try to share Eclipse. Okay, in Eclipse here we can see that let me try to remove everything, guys. Okay, and let me try to remove this overloading as well. Okay, so this is a clean class. Okay, so this hello is a class and it is extending a parent class, right? This is the parent class, right? So let me consider this parent class. Okay, this parent class, and let me try to consider this child one class. Okay, so let us consider these two classes. Okay, let me try to remove the other classes. Okay, so now here we have two classes. One class is the parent class. Okay, and one class is the child one class, which is extending this parent class, right? This is the hierarchy where we have parent and a child relationship. Now let me try to create an object inside a child one class. Okay, let me try to create a main method. So I'm just trying to create a main method. Okay, so now in this main method, okay, I'm trying to create the object for the class parent. Before that, let me try to create two methods. Okay, let me try to create method public void add. Okay, so this is a method. Let me try to write one println statement that this method is present in parent class. Okay, I have created one method, and let me try to create one instance variable int of a is equals to 50. Okay, I have created one instance variable. So what does the parent class consists of? A parent class consists of a variable and it consists of one method add, which is having some println statement. So this is the parent class, right? Now let me try to consider this child one class. Okay, in this child one class, let me try to write the same thing. Okay, like this. Let me try to write the same thing, but here I'll do some changes. That here I'll try to make this variable as b, and here let it be add itself. Okay, but here I'll try to change this method is in child class. Okay, I created one more method in the child one class with the same name. Okay, public void add, same name, but its implementation is different. Right, here we have the implementation like we have a println statement that this method is present in the parent class, and this particular method is also present in child one class, but it is varying with the println statement, that is this method is present in child class. Because some variation with the implementation. Okay, we have one variable b is equals to 50. Here we have one variable a is equals to 50. Let me make it as 100. Okay, now here if in how many ways we can try to create an object to this parent child relationship is one type, type 1. Okay, type 1 is if suppose we are creating parent p is equals to new parent. What is this we are trying to do? We are trying to create a parent class object with parent reference, right? This is the reference that we have created. So a object, parent class object to a parent reference, right? Parent p is equals to new parent. So this is one way of creating an object, right? Now by using this parent class reference to the parent class object, we can access the methods that are present inside parent class. For example, if suppose I have one more method in the child class called as subtract. So this is an method subtract which is present only in child 1 class. This method is present in child class, this subtract method, and this add method, like this. Okay. Now consider this. If suppose if we are trying to access a child class method or a child class variable or whatever that is present with respect to the child class, we cannot access. Okay. So with the help of parent type reference, with the parent object, we can access only the contents or only the behavior, only the variables, only the methods of parent class only. Okay. Are we trying to, here we are trying to access subtract, and here we are trying to access add. Add is present in both the classes. This add is not referring to this add. This add method is referring to this add, which is present under parent class. So by using parent class reference to the parent object, this is parent class reference to parent class object. Okay, this type of object creation is called as creating a parent object with parent reference. And by using this, we can access only the things that are present inside the parent class. Okay, this is one type of object creation. Now suppose if I am executing this, run as Java application, you could see that we are getting this method. This method is present in parent class, right? Where is this println statement coming from? This println statement is coming from add. Okay, and this add is of the parent class method. Okay, so for this particular statement is being printed. So with the help of parent class reference to parent class object, what all methods we can access? We can access the methods of parent class only. Now let us try to go with type 2. Okay, by using this we can access, by using this type 2 we can access methods, variables which are present inside parent class as well as child class, but except parent variables inside parent class. Okay, and this is called as child class reference to child class object. So this is multiply method which is present under parent class, right? Parent class, here it is present, but we are able to access with the help of child class reference to child object, right? Now let us see one more type, that is type 3, which is not possible in Java. What is the type 3 is creating child class reference to parent class object, like this. What is the parent? Parent is this particular parent class, right? Like this. This is this type of creation, creating child class reference to parent class object, is not supported in Java. Okay, this is not supported in Java. What is not supported in Java? Creating child class reference to parent class object is not supported in Java. Okay, so we saw three types. Okay, that what are all types we saw? We saw type 1. Let me switch to Word. Okay, we saw this kind of object creations. Type 1 was okay, type 1 is above, so let me try here, let me navigate above. Okay, type 1 is creating parent class reference to class object, to parent class object, right? Parent P is equals to new parent. By using this we can access only the methods, only the variables which are not private inside the child class of parent class. Okay, this is type 1. Type 2 is creating child class reference to child class object. Child C is equals to new child. By using this we can access all the members of parent class which are not private and all the variables, all the methods of its own class. Type 3 is creating child class reference to parent class object. Child class reference to parent class object, which is not supported in Java. We will get compile time error if we are trying to. Okay. Now let us see the fourth type, the type 4 of creation of object. Okay, let us try to see the fourth type of object creation. Type 4 is creating parent class reference. Okay, creating parent class reference to child class object. This is the fourth type. That is creating parent class reference to child class object like this. This is parent class reference to child class object. Now this type of object creation is seen with respect to method overriding. Okay, now let us switch to method overriding. What is method overriding? Method overriding is nothing but method overriding is nothing but also called as runtime polymorphism, achieved through method overriding where a subclass provides a specific implementation of a method that is already defined in its superclass. Where a subclass provides a specific implementation of a method that is already defined in the superclass. Now, which is the subclass here? Subclass is child 1. Right? Which is the subclass? Subclass is child 1. Which is the superclass? Parent. Parent is the superclass. Now, which is the method that is already defined in parent class, which is also defined in the child class? That is add method. Right? We have add method here. Right? Public void add. We have add method. So, this add method is present inside the parent class. Yes, it is present inside a parent class. Now, is it also present in the child class? Yes, it is also present in the child class. Right? So, first definition was whereas M subclass provides a specific, implementation that is already defined in its superclass. Right? See, here where a subclass, the method overriding is achieved when we are having two methods in parent class and as well as child class. Do we have the same methods? If you see here with respect to parent and this child, we have this add method. This add method is present even in the child class and it is also present in the parent class. Correct? Now this add method is varying with its internal implementation. How it is varying? See, here we have println statement. Here also we have println statement. But what is the variation? The variation is the subject that we have written. This add method is present in parent class and here we have this add method is present in child class. This variation is there. It might not only be specific to println statement, it might be anything else also. For example, let me try to add two variables here. Okay, int of sum is equals to 20 plus 5 and let me try to print here system.out.println. This is an add method in parent class. Let me try to write the same sentence. Okay, and after that let me try to write again, let me try to print the sum value. Okay, so this is the sum value that I'm trying to print. Okay, so this is one implementation that I have used. The other implementation is simple. The other implementation is this add method is present in child class. A simple one println statement. Okay, is it varying with its internal implementation? Now let us try to understand the definition of method overriding. Method overriding is nothing but when there exists a parent-child relationship. Do we have a parent-child relationship? Yes. During this parent-child relationship, parent defines a method. The same method is also defined by the child class, but varying with the internal implementation of that method. and the method should have the same name, same return type, same number of arguments. Same return type, same number of arguments, but varying with the internal implementation of the method. Is that method overriding? Yes, part of overriding. Now let us try to understand the remaining part. And at the time of object creation, like parent P is equals to new child, the child class method will be invoked instead of the parent class method. Let me try to define the method overriding definition one more time. Okay, when there a parent-child relationship exists, okay, parent-child relationship exists, parent defines a method which is also defined by the child class, but varying with the internal implementation. And at the time of object creation, like parent P is equals to new child, child class method will be invoked instead of the parent class method. And as we are trying to define which method to be invoked at runtime, it is called as runtime polymorphism. For example, p.add. Now, do we know which add method will be executed? See, in the case of parent P is equals to new parent, that is type 1, we are able to access only the methods that are present inside the parent class, right? By using child C is equals to new child 1, child 1 C is equals to new child 1, that is type 2. We are able to access only the variables and the methods that are present inside the child class. But if it is same methods, then child class method will be executed, right? But in this type of object creation, parent P is equals to new child, we are trying to decide at the runtime which method to be invoked. And in this case, this method will be invoked, not this method. See if I execute run as Java application. See which method is being executed? This method is being executed, right? This add method is in child class. Where is this coming from? This is coming from this particular add method. Now if you want to access this parent class method, what you can do? You can try to create parent P is equals to new parent instead of creating child 1 object, create with the help of parent class, and now try to call p1.add like this. Now if I execute run as, let me try to comment this. Now if I execute run as Java application, it will print me this method is present in parent class, right? This method, this add method is present in parent class, and it is trying to print me 25. Do we have this implementation here? No. Where do we have? We have in the parent class add method, right? So if you want to access the parent class methods in the child class, you can directly create parent P is equals to new parent. If you have methods with the same name, right? Add we have here also, but I don't want to access add of this class. I want to access add of parent class. In that case, I'll create parent P is equals to new parent. Now, if we want to achieve method overriding, what we have to do? We have to create a parent class reference to the parent class to the child class object. Parent P is equals to new child. Parent class reference to child class object. In this way, we are trying to tell that the method that is overridden, only that particular method to be executed, right? Parent P is equals to new child. So this is a way in which we are trying to create an object in order to achieve method overriding. So it will be decided at the runtime that which add method to be invoked in this case, whether the add method that is present inside the parent class or the add method that is present inside the child class. But due to this kind of object creation, the child class add method will be invoked. See, run as Java application. So this is called as runtime polymorphism. Okay, so achieved through method overriding, where a subclass provides a specific implementation of a method that is already defined in its superclass. Okay, the method that gets executed is determined at the runtime based on the object's actual type, achieved using inheritance and dynamic method dispatch. Okay, so here also we have one method make sound, and here also we have one method make sound, but here the internal statement is animal makes a sound, here the statement is dog barks. Now as we are trying to create the object, like animal, my animal is equals to new dog, that is parent p is equals to new child, so we are trying to call that particular method. Okay, and that is the major thing with respect to method overriding. Okay, what is method overriding? When there exist two classes where parent child relationship exists, and two classes defines the same methods with the same name, same return type, same number of argument, and varying with the internal implementation, and at the time of object creation, like parent p is equals to new child, and when we are invoking that method, the child class method will be invoked instead of the parent class method. And as we are trying to decide which method to be invoked at the runtime, it is called as runtime polymorphism. Okay, so this is called as method overriding in Java. Okay, so this is called as method overriding in Java.